Good afternoon, judges. My name is Daniel.
I'm Aiden. Alright, we'll have.
I will do
Good afternoon, judges. My name is Daniel,
I'm Aiden.
I'm Grace. I'm Phoebe.
and we are.
STEMgineers. So, did you guys know that during the Vietnam War, the U.S. had great disadvantage due to the geography and the terrain that they were in? They were unable to go out to the battlefield because they were unable to navigate the terrain So the Vietnam soldiers had a greater advantage, and they were able to overtake some of the U.S. soldiers. But in the end, we were able to get through. But it was still hard for us because of the geography that was around us. So our project is utilizing LiDAR with drones to create a realistic VR training experience or live run.
Before we start, I just wanted to give you guys an overview of what we'll be going to. We'll first be going over the introduction and like the infrastructure of our product we've come up with. We'll be going over like the AI implementation we've added, the problems and cost effectiveness, and the potential growth we have at our company. Okay, so like my teammate here, Phoebe, mentioned, our project will be focusing on using LiDAR scanners incorporated into drones to help improve the VR training.
So essentially, drones that use LiDAR technology, these can be used with drones and LiDAR to create VR training experiences that can be used to help our first responders and then our armed forces. So what we have here is a mock-up. So here we have a drone, and then along with our LiDAR sensor, which is mounted on the bottom, we can use these to create 3D scans of terrain. These can be outdoor or indoor. And then with these scans, we can use computers to create a virtual reality training experience, which can then be used in order to train our first responders and then our armed.
It's like attached to the So to talk more in depth about the AI or like the VR side of our project, so for our project we decided to implement AI into our VRs. So as AI, which also stands for artificial intelligence, I believe is becoming a primary figure that will help like improve our future and is like basically one of the things that could be used in our future. So we decided to incorporate it into our system. So what this AI will do for our system is we will be able to have a more like dynamic environment inside the setting of the VR. So what I mean by this is through the dynamic environment, it will be a lot more realistic. The 3D models we scanned from the LiDARs would be better portrayed in the VR, and it would be able to give soldiers or first responders a more like realistic, immersive, and like engaging experience for their training to help them better be prepared. Another feature we have is is how through this AI we'll be able to put NPCs into our VR. So what NPCs are is non-player characters, which are basically like just like these virtualized like dummies that we could be used to like maybe like portray like enemies or like certain like criminals in that situation to like make this setting feel a lot more realistic, so they could like prepare themselves much better, and just if they do end up running into a circumstance where they do have to face these challenges, they will be better prepared and know what to do. Going off of this, we still have more features that the AI will be able to provide for our VR. Other than the NPCs, we still have, I think this is the most important part of our AI being implemented into VR, is like the user feedback we'll be able to get back. So through this AI, the AI, while the military personnel or first responders going through the training, they'll be able to like send feedback to us, and then through that we could be able to like monitor it, or it'll be yeah, they would use it to monitor performances or just like get feedback overall to like see if any improvements could be made to our system. And yeah, here we have like a demonstration of flowchart of what will be happening. So we'll be implementing VR training with AI technology, which will then, we can like portray like weather or like just like improve realistic experiences. And we'll just have like a better overall terrain and just make them feel more involved and engaged. Like they're actually like in combat.
So this is a graph for the military drone market size from 2023 to 2032. So starting from 2022, it starts at 13.42 billion US dollars, and there's a 10-year projected growth to be $28.84 billion. This makes the drone market huge, and it's very important for the future of our military and the future of our society. So some obstacles that we have predicted to encounter would be system failure, and to combat this, we want to keep testing and doing regular checkups on our systems to make sure that they are safe and to make sure that they are still working as best as they can. Our second obstacle would be when flying drones over enemy territory, there is a chance that they may get captured or they may get shot down. As a result, we have developed mirrors, and this is an example of mirrors out in the nature. And these mirrors would be able to sort of be like a camouflage for our drone. So as you can see, our drone has trees and our drone has clouds to symbolize mirrors that camouflage them and reflect the environment onto the drone. Also, if there is a chance that our drone does get caught, we have a self-destruct. We have a self-destruct option, so when it gets caught, it'll go boom.
This is similar to VR, but it can be used to display objects in the real world, which can help with the training with more specific equipment such as missiles, guns, bombs, etc. Then construction companies can use this technology to build and train to go to the construction workplaces. Colleges can implement them to train college students on this kind of technologies to help them build and repair those VR headsets, or say there's a cyber attack. So then something would happen and then they would understand how they would do it.
So adding on to what Grace was saying, she is saying that even though our target audience is more of the military, we are able to generalize, and when we get more advanced, we're able to go out to the general public and do things such as construction, infrastructure, augmented reality, and professional and development training with our advanced AI technology.
So in summary, basically, we believe our product will be able to like better prepare our military or first responders to when they're put to operate in like unfamiliar or like maybe like territories they've never been in, to be better prepared and which will help in reducing casualties while also keeping our nation safe and the people who serve our nation safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're opening it up to Q&A. Before we do that, we just really want to say how incredibly proud we are of our students who have learned so much this week, including the assertion evidence presentation method, which you are experiencing right now. Less words, more pictures. And so we hope that it's helpful to you. And with that, Q&A. Judges?
I have one question. So, how fast do you predict that your technology will be able to scan a given geographical area and turn it into a simulation?
I think that question would really depend on what kind of camera we're using. The camera would most likely be outsourced by other companies, but that would just depend on the camera.
So you mentioned the AI in presentation. I just wanted to ask a little bit more, if you could offer more detail about how you want to integrate AI into a system like this?
So like Daniel said, we're integrating AI by being able to give feedback and by being able to just make a better, more realistic experience. We're also going to have AI that generates real-time weather in that specific area so that it's more realistic. And terrain so that you'll be able to go on forever when you're in the simulation.
I was just wondering, the basket that you're holding there.
Oh, this is VR. Obviously, the VR goggles.
They are wearable.
Yes.
I thought that's what you were holding, but I just wanted to make sure, so that's all.
How does your solution compare to contemporary simulation software?
So right now, the military, they are using VR for training, but they're using it for more of a generalized spectrum. So they're using it for like aviation training and combat training, like target practice. But we want to make ours more specific because if we're in an environment where we're going to be fighting and we don't know what we're doing and we aren't trained for that environment, we're able to get to know the environment. And we get to know to be better prepared for scenarios that may happen over there.
Yeah, like my teammate Phoebe said, our main goal is to have them more immersed into like the VR experience to make it feel like they're almost like they actually are in combat themselves, and like which we believe these experiences will help in like better preparing themselves and like she has mentioned, like develop critical thinking skills, which will allow them to operate fastly and like make decisions in the case we do get put in situations like this.
I was also wondering, I know you guys were saying that you're using use LiDAR in order to scan indoor environments and whatnot. I know you guys mentioned the first responder aspect of it, but if you were to do an indoor LiDAR scan of a enemy territory, what is your response to them being able to capture it from there, other than not self-destructing? I know you're saying the mirrors, but that wouldn't exactly work, of course.
So, well, of course, that's a really good question, and even though it'll be inside, we do have the self-destruct, but as of right now, we don't have a way to prevent being captured when we're doing indoor LiDAR scans, but the self-destruct is able to back it up so that our technology and our materials won't be exposed to enemies.
Not only this, I've also been doing more research on this, but if it is possible, like even though they might be considered enemies of like maybe our country, I believe maybe if we can like come up with some sort of agreement to like allow them to let us scan areas, or if they're not like too confident that we are just doing it as a used to scan, we also like could like provide them with the idea of like they could like monitor us personally, and if they do feel like it's like being used as another source, like as a spy, they could like do like we said, self-destruct, or they could even keep the model themselves. Yeah.
Awesome. First, great name. Love it. Fantastic. The other question I had was, so on the actual market size, I know you guys were looking at the military market. Did you also look at non-military markets for the dual use application?
Yeah, so not even just military, but like first responders, so like law enforcement, like police, firefighters, or just any type of like we have in our cities that will like need some type of training where they have to get physically involved, which will help. And like we mentioned, our future development with like construction sites or just those things in general who might need these type of scan like material, I believe are other target markets we could like explore.
To add on to what Daniel is saying, Grace had stated that we're using construction, and even when we generalize it to a larger market, we could be able to give it out to the public, and the public could use it as like a tour. You know how Google Maps has the augmented tour. We could try to use that with our scanning and with our technology.
All right, that's all the time we have for questions. Let's give this team a round of applause.